Magandang buhay, our dear brothers and sisters in our sector. I am here to present to you the roles of responsibilities of the program implementing team, the reports that they are required to make, and also the qualities that we are looking for in a PIT. First, let me discuss about the roles and responsibilities of the PIT. 1. The PIT conducts profiling of potential scholars, including home visit. At this time of the pandemic, it may not be possible to go to the home of the applicant to talk to him or to his parents and conduct the ocular inspection of their house. What the PIT can do is, conduct a virtual interview with the parents and the applicant and let them walk you through their house virtually. Why are we doing this? The PIT needs to know or to see the actual condition of the applicant and his family, so the PIT can make a proper evaluation in the FCTI. Number 2, the PIT collates all accomplished ESP forms of applicants and submit to chapter head, copy furnished, angkop ESP. The PIT must ensure that all the required documents have been properly accomplished. After completing all documents, the PIT then submits all this to the chapter head. Copy furnish the ESP education team. The team shall review all the documents submitted to see if everything is in order. If there are documents lacking or needs to be changed, the ANCOP education coordinator will revert to the PIT. Number 3, releases allowance to parents and scholars and submits liquidation report to sector ANCOP ESP Finance. Once the sponsorship is approved and downloaded, the PIT shall release the allowance to the parents, scholars, who will sign the liquidation form as proof that the allowance has been received. Liquidation report shall then be submitted to the ANCOP Finance of the sector. Number 4, it is also the duty and responsibility of the PIT to regularly monitor the scholar's performance in school and relationship with family and peers. This is the reason why we need more PITs. Ideal ratio of PIT to scholar is 1:5, meaning 1 PIT for every 5 scholars. The PITs are like second parents to the scholars. They should know what's going on in the life of their wards or scholars, and they are there to give advice and help if needed. Number 5, the PIT must also see to it that all required reports are submitted on time. We shall discuss the reports very briefly in a few minutes. And number 6, the PIT is also enjoined to attend the monthly ESP coordination meeting, which falls on the third Thursday of each month. Before the pandemic, we had our face-to-face meetings at SAMSI. Now, we are doing it online. Here are the required reports that the PIT has to prepare and the sector deadline for the submission of these reports to the education coordinator. 1. Signed kasunduan has to be submitted 5 days after approval of sponsorship. This was already discussed by Brother Chito with you earlier. Another report is a thank you letter, or we call it PYL, of the scholars to the sponsor. This also has to be submitted 5 days after approval of sponsorship. Another report is the Christmas letter, or what we term a CL. The deadline is November 15 of every year. Fourth is the Annual Progress Report, or APR, to be submitted 1 month after the end of the school year. And number 5, the liquidation report that has to be submitted 15 days after the release of funds to the PIT. It is also the responsibility of the PIT to prepare termination reports. As much as possible, we do not want to terminate the sponsorship of a scholar, but for some reasons, we are constrained to do so. There are 2 types of termination from the program. One is termination due to probable cause or causes, and the other one is voluntary withdrawal by the sponsor child from the sponsorship. And you see in the screen the reasons for the termination of sponsorship. One is transfer of residence without informing the PIT that the scholar has transferred to another place. One. Second, stop schooling or drop and with failing grades. Abusive disposition, manners, early marriage or elopement, and the non-submission or compliance of ESP reports, and non-participation of the child and the parents and or the parents in ESP activities. And if there are dual sponsorships, like the scholar also receives 4Ps and other scholarships or support from NGOs, and the the scholar's involvement in vices. The reason for voluntary withdrawal here, the transfer of residence without ANCOP in the residence to monitor sponsorship continuation, improved economic status, kung naging, nag-improve na yung kanilang economic status sa buhay, nagkaroon na ng trabaho yung ibang mga kapatid, etc. And if the scholar has been employed and does not want anymore to continue being sponsored. And the others, educational support from relatives and others, and safety of their armed conflicts, and full scholarship from other institutions, and the scholar's health condition. Having given earlier the roles and responsibilities of the PIT, we now ask, what do, what do we look for in a PIT? First and foremost, we need someone with a big heart for the poor. We already know what it means. We have more patience. We can, continue giving our time and, mostly our time for the poor and for the scholar. The second one is the PIT. We are looking for a computer literate person who has basic knowledge of Word and Excel applications. We have started more than a year ago with paperless communication, so all required and necessary reports, the ones that we mentioned earlier, are submitted in editable soft copies. So if possible, we also need someone who has an easy access to computer and Wi-Fi. And the fourth and the fifth, he must have time for regular monthly PIT meetings and a periodic dialogue with his scholars and the parents. So there you are, my dear brothers and sisters in our sector. You've heard of the duties and responsibilities and the roles of the program implementing team, the qualities that we're looking for in a PIT, and the required reports that they are supposed to submit. So we look forward to more workers in our vineyard. We look forward to more PITs in our sector. And we hope that you can help us, because we need to help as many poor but deserving students as we could. Thank you very much.